On today's fantasy, wow, that's not even the right thing. On today's late round fantasy football live, I will be doing a Best Ball Mania live draft in dark mode. Feeling a little bit under the weather. It's dark mode. If I make bad picks, those are my excuses. But regardless, let's get to it. Yo, 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 we are in dark mode, number one. I have given in. All of you people who've been complaining about me not drafting in dark mode. Look, I'll sacrifice my own eyesight afterwards where I'm seeing the name Jagers and I'm seeing all these other usernames on my wall when I'm looking at it because they're white text on this black background. I'll be seeing them for hours, but I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I see Joel says, dang, I was going to try to join the same draft as you. I try to mix it up a little bit so that people don't know, when I'm actually going to be joining. In this case, I joined a little bit earlier. I got the 105 spot, thinking wide receiver. I've been doing a lot of puppies recently, so this is my first Best Ball Mania, and aside from the one that I did with Pete Overzet together a couple days ago, this is my first Best Ball Mania in a couple weeks. I have some slows that are going on from I haven't joined one in a couple weeks, I should say. Been a lot of puppies. I have 100 puppy lineups that I'm drafting. I'm in slow draft hell. That's the way it goes as a dad. We'll go Justin Jefferson. It's fine by me. I have no strong opinion about Justin Jefferson versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I like getting Justin Jefferson, or I like getting a wide receiver, I should say, in that range, knowing that this will probably be a fairly wide receiver heavy draft. I've got my tea, which, by the way, I've graduated from the chamomile tea that I typically would drink on stream. I now drink Ticino. I don't know if anyone's heard of Ticino, but it tastes like coffee. It's got a coffee flavoring to it. But I don't drink coffee for a lot of reasons. Ticino is very, very good. Not caffeinated, easy on the stomach, not acidic. It's just a really easy to drink. It's a prebiotic too. I see in chat that Pete draft was an insane avalanche. It was some crazy wide receiver love in that draft. So we got Nico Collins going a little early at the 201. I think that you could do something like that in the puppies and such, but as some of the guests on Becoming a Best Ball Bro have told me, and I agree with them, in Best Ball Mania, it's a little bit less of an issue or less of a reason to do that because, there's a chance that Nico Collins, just ends up there. You're not really differentiating necessarily because Nico Collins just could end up being there by the time things sort of finish in August with Best Ball Mania. I really don't want to force myself to get a running back. I'm probably not going to get a Saquon or Jonathan Taylor in the second just because those are the positions that often will fall. I'm gonna be on the ADP tab here for a sec. No surprises so far. Are you able to shift your camera view 10 pixels to the right so we can see how many picks till your turn? Oh, I should do that. I need to do this more frequently. That's better. We'll do that. That's my fault. Still getting used to streaming these drafts. So Jonathan Taylor goes. It's nice because that means that a wide receiver might fall. So, you got three guys. I'm probably, Saquon Barkley goes here. I know Ayuk is right there, but my fear with Ayuk in a Best Ball Mania contest is, okay, there we go. I kind of want to go Jalen Waddle because I have a thing for Jalen Waddle. We could go Devontae Adams. I'm looking at week 15 and 16 numbers here too, because I just think it's important. Based on some of the conversations I had with Mike Leone on today's episode of Becoming a Best Ball Bro. Minnesota doesn't have Vegas or Miami in the playoffs, but let's just go Waddle because I like Waddle more. I think it's a little bit more stackable too. Our poor light mode king. I know. Look, I will admit, okay, I will admit this is fine. Do I enjoy this more than light mode? No. And I could show you my phone, my underdog app on my phone, where it is light mode indeed. Oh wow, it's like very light with the camera there. It is light mode though on my phone. I will never draft Waddle in season long again, but I'll take him in best ball all day. I mean, I think I'm going to take him a lot in season long too. He really wasn't any worse last year than the year before that. Just had some injury, misfortune, a little bit of touchdown misfortune, but he still has the upside of what happens if, Tyreek Hill goes down. Then he has that like 30% target share upside. But yeah, I can't stop taking Jalen Waddle. It's a problem. I think I'm at like, I think I finally brought it down to probably around 20%. With Waddle, you're looking at that week 17 correlation with Amari Cooper in the fourth if he's able to get there. Obviously Devon Achane already went, so I'm not going to be able to see him slip in this draft and get to the third round. So third round here is really probably just getting an uncorrelated wide receiver once again, and then kind of working off of those wideouts, into the fourth, fifth, sixth, etc. See, Metcalf goes. I mean, that's a slightly bold on Metcalf. Thanks, C40. GMs. Isn't that what people say? GMs. I feel like that's more of like the crypto space, NFT space, where that started, right? Am I wrong with that? Thanks, David. Appreciate the shout about the thumbnail. All right, so Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf. I got to get to this screen real quick. I'm not really that. I mean, clearly I'm pretty high on Cooper Kupp. ADP wise, it's going to say DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs. Cooper Kupp goes, so I guess I'm going to lean DJ Moore. And DJ Moore also gets Minnesota in week 15. So that's nice. Miami gets Houston, San Francisco, Cleveland. So I could go Stephon Diggs. I think I'm going to go Moore. I don't love Moore. Like I haven't drafted him like an excessive amount, and I think that he's probably somewhat of an avoid from a season long standpoint. But there are a lot of outs for him in a weekly game, a spiked week game where you don't have to like predict how things are going to go down. And he's my wide receiver 3 here, which I feel okay about. Got to say the dark mode makes the lovely green border really pop. Okay. I see you guys. Look at this start from the 7 spot. You get the 3 running backs, Bijan, Saquon, and Kyron. This is one of those situations where you should stop at running back, maybe get one more super, super late. Or like, in like the round 10 to 15 range, let's say. And then just you gotta get that equity up at wide receiver, which I'm assuming, an experienced best ball player with the red badge is gonna end up doing. Tried to tell you about dark mode. Guys, it's not like I didn't know what dark mode was. This is a pretty chalky draft so far. Tank Dell, it's where he's been going recently. Derrick Henry, there are some, the running backs aren't dropping like we typically see, which I'm not mad about, right? That means that there's a possibility we go with 4 wide receivers to start. I also am frequently getting, tight ends in the 4th and into the 5th. This could be a situation where maybe you get a Mark Andrews and reach for him a little bit, and then Lamar slips because there's no one that's a stack worthy there. Josh Allen going in the 3rd here. There's Zay. So this would be the first place where Lamar Jackson would go for the stack. Obviously, you can get an uncorrelated Lamar Jackson. It's just not as nice because you're gonna stack him with Tez Walker and Rashad Bateman and maybe Isaiah Likely and just not feel as good about it. Someone said also, what made you so angry in the thumbnail? Did you accidentally draft Ramondre at ADP? No, I'm becoming evil because I'm doing dark mode. I've been a light mode bro so far. There goes the Amari Cooper semi snipe. I mean, it's not like I was like needing to get him. Did you do any super flex? I haven't done a single super flex draft actually. I've been focused on single quarterback. Maybe that's weird. All right, so there's not like I don't have a an eagle to get Jalen Hurts. I could go ETN, but I think it's a little bit early to go ETN. I wouldn't mind going even with a Christian Kirk if he falls because these tight ends are going. I could go for my go-to move recently, which is the Andrews Lamar thing. But you're looking at some of these, man, this team does not drafted a wide receiver through four. You're looking at these teams getting quarterbacks. So I'm afraid that some of the other teams might panic and get a Lamar Jackson, right? So right now, I think it's probably one of the, it's probably a wide receiver. I could go McBride. There's not that much correlation to really to pinpoint here. Yeah, so Lamar goes there, right? I think I just got to lean in on wide receiver. We're gonna go Christian Kirk, I think here. And then there's the off chance that ETN falls. Jacksonville's a nice stackable game with Tennessee. Let's go with Kirk and start 4 wide receivers, baby. How likely do you think it's that Roma Dunze is the wide receiver one of that team in the second half of the year? I don't think that's super likely. Um, I think DJ Moore is a pretty good wide receiver, and we should plan on him being the one. I do think that if there's one guy who we should be a little afraid of, it'd be Keenan Allen, just given the fact that he's older. I think he plays sort of the slot role the most of those three in the Shane Waldron offense, and we saw that last year with Jackson Smith and Jigba. That wasn't really a good experience. Is the next pick the best tight end then to stay high end, or are you comfortable with 3 tight end? I'm fine with 3 tight end builds. There's also the possibility that tight end, because look, in a build like this, I'm I have 4 wide receivers to start this draft. They're 4 good wide receivers, but I have 4 wide receivers to start this draft. I'm only looking at 6 or 7 in this draft, more than likely, unless I just continuously not get a wide receiver over the next handful of rounds. So I'm open to whatever. I'm open to running back in the next round. Whatever ends up sort of falling and sitting there. Could go Keenan Allen to get the Bears thing going. Could even go Calvin Ridley to get the correlation, week 17 correlation with Christian Kirk. Also, sorry if I'm not as enthusiastic today. I am under the weather. I've been sick the last few days. It's a little bit more difficult to do these shows and such while sick. So McBride falls off the board. I would assume that the guy the person who took Lamar is just staring at Mark Andrews, and I could just ruin that person's day if Andrews is there. I could just ruin his day. Again, pretty uncorrelated lineup right now. The lack of light mode is draining poor JJ. Yeah, either that or my kids who bring stuff home from their summer camp and such. They're draining me. So right now I think we're in a good spot to get either of the. I think we're gonna have to go wide receiver again. I like Hollywood Brown more. I think I'm gonna go Keenan Allen and start to stack that Bears offense and get weird with it. Could go Kincaid. I just don't need it. I'd rather. I think I'm okay. Like when it's. I don't know. I'm gonna go Keenan Allen. We're gonna get weird. We're gonna start 5 wide receivers. So we'll hopefully have to, we might have to reach for Caleb a little bit late. I think Kincaid could have been the move there. What do you guys think? Man, that team still does not have a wide receiver. Caleb Williams can maybe be pushed now, though. Yeah, the problem though is that Roma Dunze still exists, right? Like maybe I get a Dunze. I'm not like waiting to get all 3 of them, to be honest with you. I mean, it could work, but a Dunze still exists, and people will draft Caleb Williams based off of a Dunze. So I'm okay with reaching a little bit still, even though I have 2/3 of that group. I'm just gonna have to look at the board and see where a Dunze ends up going and see how I can play the board that way. I'll push it if it's on a certain, area of the board. And yeah, the Chicago Minnesota stack week 15. That feels good too. I like Jacksonville though too. Like realistically, we'll see where like Brian Thomas goes, but it could be fun to get Jacksonville and then get some of the Tennessee running backs later potentially. Josh Jacobs fall into the late fifth. That's happened fairly or more and more frequently. Okay, so now we see a Dunze's here, so I don't have to even come up with the. I don't have to question getting him or not. Um, so if I'm on, I'm gonna. If you guys can see my cursor here, if I'm on this side of the draft, I'll definitely push Caleb Williams. If I'm on this side, I can't. I like the two Bears wide receivers with Swift. Yeah, that could work too. This is also a range where we could think about Kenneth Walker. Um, and get the correlation week 17 with Chicago. You can see my ranks. I really like DeAndre Hopkins. If I didn't have a wide receiver heavy draft, he'd definitely be my target right now with Christian Kirk here and getting that Jacksonville, Tennessee stack. But yeah, I mean, I think that, there's definitely a chance that I could just get Kenneth Walker at ADP here and get that bring back with the Chicago stack. Thoughts on Cole Kmet? I'm not super. Someone said Team Sharp. Yeah, Charbonnet is my highest rostered player on best ball in best ball right now. So if I don't get Walker here, it's totally fine. It's just that like right now I'm kind of in this pinch where maybe I can go Kittle and just get a tight end. The thing with Kittle though, I still want to get like a Freiermuth type almost. Whereas like a guy like Kincaid, a guy like McBride actually is probably a better example. I'm more so okay with like reaching, and Kittle just went. So I think Walker's the move. Because if I go wide receiver again, I'm just doing it to do it. I like to have a little bit more flexibility in my draft. I think going with Walker here allows for that week 17 correlation. Gives me some sort of a hero RB-ish build. Kind of, not really, but you know what I'm trying to say. At least have a little stability there. I do think that Charbonnet is a better value than Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet to me is one of the best values on the board, period. So Joel says, feels like lately all my podcasts are super focused on stacks, especially week 17. Do you think this is some kind of trend that we can capitalize? Listen to Becoming a Best Ball Bro today. I brought Mike Leone on. He chatted about this and talked about some research. Excuse me. I told you I was sick. He talked about some research. And yeah, he thinks that you can capitalize on week 15 and week 16 a little bit more than what people are doing. My brain definitely goes to week 17 because that's what I have memorized. But, even this lineup, Minnesota gets Chicago week 15. So you get Justin Jefferson there, and then you get the two Chicago wideouts as well. Are your rankings for this just your redraft rankings with a slight lean to wide receivers? Yes, but there's also underdog ADP mixed in as well. So it's basically trying to extract the players that my rankings like more, right, than ADP. It's not perfect, but it's at least like a way for people who are using the rankings, which are available on the Late Round Fantasy Football Patreon, to just sort of see who I'm ahead on, just generally speaking. Like, Kamara's ranked where he's ranked because I'm transferring them from season long to best ball. I don't know if I would feel that way, to like some dramatic degree, but you get the general idea. I mean, I could go Aaron Jones next, but I think, Evan Ingram is an interesting pick next. I mean, there's a lot of directions like JSN. I think the next three picks are nice and correlated hypothetically because you could get JSN and get the Seattle thing going. You can get Evan Ingram and get the Jacksonville thing going. You could get Aaron Jones and get some more Minnesota pieces. So I think right now it's down to JSN and Evan Ingram. Yeah, there goes Ingram. I think we go JSN. Just get some more Seattle pieces. That opens us up to Geno late if we don't get Caleb Williams. I don't like drafting the same week 17 quarterbacks. Unless it's a 3 quarterback build, I'll sometimes do it. Just because we want multiple outs and multiple ways to get there. But yeah, Seattle also gets Minnesota in week 16. So that's nice to have that. I'm pretty high on Ryan Grubbs in the Seattle offense in general. I think they're going to look a lot more creative, a lot more movement. Even if they go with a ground and pound approach, still they're probably going to take more deep shots. That was really big for Geno last year. Geno only had 4 touchdowns on 15 plus air yard throws. The year prior to that, it was 14. He had 10 more. Trevor, Geno, JJ team. Yeah, I mean it could even be that. Like if I miss out on Caleb, this is another reason why I think having that flexibility is nice. With sort of forcing the issue at quarterback and not reaching. Earlier in the draft, I'm saying like, okay, I'll reach for Caleb. But now that the Seattle guys kind of fell where they fell, I'm okay with not doing that. Now, the big question is, this is probably is this going to be a 2 or 3 quarterback build? Is this going to be a 2 or 3 tight end build or both? Right. And if that's the case, then I'm going to probably be done at wide receiver, close to done at wide receiver. So I do need to think about spending equity at quarterback or at tight end, even if there's not that strong of a correlation going there. But right now, I think we are kind of in running back land. And the running back probably won't be strongly correlated. I mean, we could look at Swift. Trevor and Caleb are my favorites. So reasonably priced when you factor in all their weapons also. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind either of them. I like Trevor Lawrence a lot, though. Like, I'm specifically going to call him out. Like, I think he's in a really good place. What do you guys think? Should I just go with my favorite player of this group and Najee? But I think I should just go with DeAndre Swift. Yeah. I don't think there's any other clear correlated play. And then I could even look at the next round and see. Yeah, I mean, I might even get lucky and get like Tajay Spears in the 10th if he were to fall. Could one of the potential downsides to such a wide receiver heavy start be that you lose opportunity to find one of those yearly Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't do this that frequently. I've even talked about this on the show. I'm trying to not to do this as frequently. It's just kind of how the board fell. But yeah, you lose flexibility when you go this wide receiver heavy. I don't really love that, right? Like, you're not able to get like stacks late that you missed out on and stuff like that. I'm going to go DeAndre Swift here, I think, with Najee going. You're stacking that game. This is a very clear week 17 game stack, but there's a lot of, with Justin Jefferson there and Seattle and Chicago playing Minnesota in the playoffs, there's some correlation with that as well. I haven't drafted a ton of Swift. Do think he's probably a little bit overvalued, but we know that he has enough weekly upside. I got him a little bit past ADP too. This is a team that gets Wicks at wide receiver 7, bring back, could be done at. This is one more wide. We're not getting 8 wide receivers. This is a 7 wide receiver max team. We'll see what things look like at quarterback. And I mean, this could be a 6 realistically, just depending on how things kind of unfold. Could look at Pollard next with Christian Kirk. That opens me up a little bit to a Trevor Lawrence drop if he were to fall. I don't mind getting like Gabe Davis with that either. Yeah, my bad. I keep forgetting to go to the grid. My bad, folks. Let's look at the Adunze team right here. So they have Kyler. I mean, the team is, stack Kyler with Marvin Harrison. So, quarterbacks are going off the board. Quarterbacks are falling. Do I risk it with Caleb, or do I just get him with the next pick? I think I might have to get him with the next pick because he's the top quarterback available. He's going to take Caleb 100%. Yeah, the Adunze guy, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. Who's your favorite Steeler of all time? Is that what someone said? JJ, favorite Pitt player of all time? I'll go with Hines Ward. I love that era of Steelers because that's when I was like in high school, middle school, and high school. High school, I graduated 2006 from high school. And that's when they won their 5th Super Bowl. And then I was in college at Pitt whenever they won and beat Arizona, which was one of the greatest nights of my life. So much fun. Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, this is one of those situations where, like, these quarterbacks are going where they're going, don't want to get cute, don't need to like squeeze the value. And realistically, there's a chance. I'll say it after I make the. I mean, there's a chance that we could get some Jacksonville going or something like that, or even like I don't mind going Geno also if we're getting like a JJ McCarthy late, right, and getting a 3 quarterback build. I think we got to go with Caleb. I know it's a reach, totally understand that. It's not really that much of a reach though. It's like 8 spots, but I think we do it with the Adunze manager drafting and a few picks, and you know them hypothetically going a Caleb with Kyler and just being done. It's not really a reach either. You're right. Gabe is always free, whichever makes sense. Yeah, I agree. I think that he's a really actually pretty good value, and I like Brian Thomas a lot too. Brian Thomas is one of my highest rostered players this year. I think everyone in Jacksonville is just a little bit like, Christian Kirk probably goes where he should go. Brian Thomas probably goes where he should go, but realistically, those guys are definitely not overvalued in my opinion. We'll say that. The nice part here too is that both of we'll see what happens with the Tennessee running backs, but that would really fit the build, huh? We're definitely going 3 late round tight ends. I don't mind getting like one of my favorites is just getting like Fryermuth for some stability and then getting like 2 literal dart throws in the final 2 rounds, like just Mike Gesicki type guys. Jonnu could work in this build with Miami with Jalen Waddle. Chig as a bring back. That's another one. Good call. I talked about this on becoming a best ball bro, but I think that I'm better at live drafting than slow drafts because the slow drafts you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I got to get through all these. I got 60 drafts that I'm on the clock for, but at least with like when you're doing these fast drafts, you're like zoned in on what the board looks like, and you're able to really, of course, you're going to find situations where you panic a little bit. But if you can stay calm, if you can stay rational, level headed, and not tilt when people steal your stacks and such, you can put together some really interesting teams and some good teams. I'm going to try to do a lot more live drafting of BBM in July and August instead of doing the slows, because all my fast drafts I just like more. Why do you like Jonnu so much? The offense environment. Yeah, look, I mean, like I think I had this conversation. There goes Pollard. I had this conversation on the YouTube channel in the comment section with someone because I talked about Jonnu on late round perspectives last week with John Daigle, and like I like Jonnu's. I don't think there's like Jonnu hype, right? Like he's like the tight end 25 or whatever. The thing that I like about Jonnu is the fact that you have an offense that's really predicated on speed, being able to get the ball deep, but also some yak, right? And you have these perimeter wide receivers who can stretch the field really well. That should open things up a lot for a yak player like Jonnu Smith. Like he's not Mike Gesicki. Like people brought up the fact that historically, we got to go back to here. This person's going to snipe Spears from me. I know it's coming. The Spears pick is coming. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful pick, I think. I'm very high on Tajay Spears. Getting him with Christian Kirk. Woo, that feels good. That feels real good. So now we're sitting here with did T-Law go? I think someone took Trevor Lawrence already. I missed that when I was ranting. Oh yeah, he just went right after I picked. I wasn't going to take Trevor Lawrence there. That'd be silly. But yeah, like Jonnu is not a Mike Gesicki type tight end. He's more traditional / can get a lot better, like is better, and yak has been more consistent in yards per route run. Mike Gesicki is just like a slot guy. It's just a different kind of player. I don't think you can make an apples to apples comparison like that. People are loving quarterbacks. I mean, we could go Tua. What do you guys think about Tua? Do you think we're strong enough at could go Dontavian Wicks and just get that final wide receiver piece, but Two is kind of interesting. I think it matters. We're gonna have to see what the Tyreek team does because they currently do not. They're definitely. This is definitely Tua right here. Pick 123. 100% Tua. 100% Tua. What do you guys think about the next one? Wicks? I think I'm at this, but we'll see, how things unfold. There goes Wicks. Oh, that means that the Tyreek drafter did not get. Oh, no, they're on the clock right now. My bad. This is the Tua pick. I wish this is one of those situations where I'm like, man, I wish I didn't have Kenneth Walker and I went with another running back or something because Sharps is right here. There goes Tua, which is not surprising. This could be where I just get Freiermuth. I know that it's high ADP wise, but I get some stability there. There's no correlation. I understand all that, but there's also the backdoor of like Russ. I'm gonna go Freiermuth, I think, and get some of that stability at tight end. A little early, 9 picks ahead of ADP. Someone said no Corum love. There's nothing wrong with Corum. I just wanted to have a piece at tight end there. Marshawn Lloyd's still here. There's enough running backs where I feel okay. Here, I'll go to the grid. This could be a situation where I do stack quarterbacks in week 17 and get JJ McCarthy as the other one, like get Gino and JJ. But the other thing that Freiermuth kind of does, I personally think that Russell Wilson is not that bad of like an 18th round pick in a 3 quarterback build. I know people have been like getting Justin Fields and stuff, but all of the reports out of Pittsburgh are pretty pro Russ. And I think that he fits the offense really well. Maybe this is contrarian, maybe it's silly and stupid. But he does have some rushing upside still. And then you could have this Freiermuth stack with him and just get something as your third stack. Is there a risk Gino's not playing by week 17? Yeah, for sure. But I think you got to just lean into the fact that, you're drafting the players on his team, the wideouts on his team, and you're feeling good about the offense. If he's not starting week 17, that means the players probably in his offense are also underperforming. I would only take Fields in an elite quarterback build at the very end. Yeah. I think Russ is actually like, of course, there's a chance Russ isn't even playing that late, but I don't know. I think he fits the offense well, and I don't think the Steelers are in a hurry to play Justin Fields. We'll see what Ty Chandler's here too. We could go after. I like Levis for this build instead of JJ. That's fine too. We can get a Chig and a Tyler Boyd. But I do think this is a 3 quarterback build more than like I think it's looking like a 3 quarterback, 3 tight end build. Sorry if I have the sniffles in the microphone. Yesterday I was doing, if you guys look at the end of Becoming a Best Ball Bro, little secret, I'm going like this a lot at the end because my nose like started running. I dropped a solid amount of Trevor, Russ early in May. And yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I still think there's a chance that Russ just plays fine, like and is the quarterback and is the starter late in the season. The Steelers have a really tough schedule, so maybe that's going to play into this to some degree. But we know that, Tomlin's been good at just being a 500 team and being in it. All right, so we're coming up. There's a lot of running backs on the board here. You can get correlation here with Lloyd and Chandler. So I think we're in a decent spot to go running back here. Gabe Davis falls off the board back here. I do think that the Freiermuth pick was a little bit risky, but with some of these, with this wide receiver run that's going on right now, I feel pretty good about Marshawn Lloyd going in here, getting that correlation with Justin Jefferson. Who else does Green Bay get? New Orleans and Seattle. New Orleans gets Green Bay gets Seattle in week 15. So I think Lloyd is the pick. I think that worked out pretty well. This running back room isn't that bad for a 0 RB build, in my opinion. We haven't picked a wide receiver in a pretty long time. We'll see if, I mean, maybe Chandler even falls in the next round. But yeah, this is another place where, like, you know what? We could go with a 2 tight end build, right? Right here. I'd be okay with that. I'm pretty high on Musgrave. And there's these other guys here. Someone's going to say, what about Kmet? What about Kmet? I'm okay with getting other correlations slash the player I like more. Like, I like Musgrave more than Kmet as like a potential breakout this year. There's stuff about that in my draft guide. Competition to overcome is better for Kmet. I like the offense more to just score more points. Yeah, Jalen Wright with Waddle, that works too. I think this is the nice part. Yeah, I haven't taken any TJ Hawkinson either. The nice part here with Musgrave or with a tight end would be the roster spots, right? It gives us a little more flexibility to get running back and wide receiver late. And we also get some correlation potentially. I don't feel, do you guys feel comfortable with Cole Kmet? I'm not like the most comfortable with him as like at best the fourth option in that offense. You can make the same argument for Musgrave, but there's a lot more instability at wide receiver in Green Bay. And they got Gerald Everett too. Chicago did. There is some fear that this could be this pick right here could be tight end. Let's see what they're looking at. This is the, yeah, they have Andrews though, so they don't really need to force it. This one has Ingram and Bauer. So if this is not a tight end, I think you shouldn't go Kmet because you took Swift too. Yeah, I think that's valid. There goes Kmet. That was fortunate. We're going Luke Musgrave and we're going with a 2 tight end build. It's coming together, folks. Now we have the mini Minnesota Green Bay stack. We got Green Bay with Seattle week 15. Like that. See, like Seattle gets, so you guys know, in week 15, 16, 17, it's Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago. So we have that team with Seattle, with JSN, with Kenneth Walker, which is another reason why, like, you know, it's kind of intriguing to go Geno, but I think this could even be a team where you go JJ McCarthy and Russell Wilson or something. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Said this build is nice, JJ. It's a fun build. I think the quarterback position is going to be the one where we got to watch ourselves, right? We're coming up on Geno territory a little bit. Do I want to stack? What do you guys think about stacking week 17 quarterbacks and then getting a third, knowing that you're getting a third, right? I do think we need another running back though, too. And we're in that range potentially. I love this range of running back as like dart throws up to Gibson. Because I think, you know, McLaughlin, this is the running back pick. I don't think has to be correlated. Like, I'm not like overly concerned about that. We have enough correlation in the lineup. But also we could look at, again, going back to the Will Levis stuff, we can go Levis too instead of Geno. Musgrave and Freiermuth is good enough for 2 tight end. You think usually my tight end rooms are that weak? I like to grab another. I'm okay with it because I'm high on both of them. Like I think I'm okay with those two. But now you're making me like the team a little less. Just kidding. Eileen Levis with Boyd. I think that would be a really fun, you know, maybe reach one round for each of them. That could be a really fun build. And then get Levis with Russ or JJ. JJ would probably be ideal. 2 rookie quarterbacks though, it's a little risky. What's your opinion on Tucker Kraft? Does he worry you at all? Yeah, I don't think he's a bad late round dart throw. He definitely, I mean, there's definitely some worry. But like you have to think about like the high end outcomes here, and like I know that it's scary. I'm not trying to play a floor game at tight end, right? I'm trying to say like we want one of these two guys to be semi-weekly starters for the most part, and maybe have the spiked week when we need it to be spiked. Because the wide receiver room is excellent, the running back room has enough upside. That's really what it comes down to. This next pick, I think we just got to go running back and go with like one of these just to get something. This also opens us up to like this would open us up to like new like Drake May. So many rookie quarterbacks, man. Caleb Levis, Russ. Yeah, I think that could work. All right, we're gonna go Ray Davis. Ray Davis. Let's go Ray Davis. That's a pocket where I feel like the running backs could gain value throughout the summer. You know, Davis could lose value, of course. And there's some, some risk in having the two rookies that we have. I think we go one more running back, keep it at two tight ends, one more wide receiver, and a quarterback. I guess we have one more pick on top of that too. We got to look at where so we got Metcalf here. Remember he went 101 or in the 101 spot. He's already got two quarterbacks though. And he's not going to pick. I'm going to make two picks before he makes his next one, depending on if he gets Geno here. And then where's Tyler Lockett? Here's Lockett sitting right next to me. They have Goff and Lamar. Geno might slip. A ton of good news for Unfant recently. Do you have any interest in him? Like, yeah. I think Fant's fine. I think we push it with this next pick and maybe get another running back. And then see what we got at quarterback next. Because I do think there's a chance that Geno, Levis. You guys think we push it? I think if Gibson's here, it'd be sweet. I don't really want to go Bucky Irving. I think if we don't get Gibson, we might want to force it a little bit with quarterback. We might want to just go Geno. I don't think we need to go Geno. I just don't love anything else that's really going on here. Maybe we just go Levis. Let's go Gibson Levis. Let's hope one of them falls, baby. Let's hope one of them falls. I highly doubt Levis is going to make it to us, but Geno might. And if not, we go JJ and Russ. And we reach. We'll see how this goes. I didn't look at the Ridley Hopkins. Hopkins is usually over here, though. Yeah, Hopkins is over here. So we're good with Hopkins. It really comes down to the Ridley. Here's Ridley. He's got Jalen Hurts and Dak. Folks, this team right here, drafting right now, has Jalen Hurts and Dak. The one with Ridley. Levis or Geno could fall. And I think if that happens, we're going to go Levis. I mean, they could even fall further realistically, but I think we go Levis because of the week 7. You want more outs in week 17. And then you can get Boyd coming back. Be sweet. Haven't drafted a wide receiver since pick 77. All right, sorry. I'm doing the thing that I said I wouldn't do. So yeah, this is such a dead part of the draft where I'm okay with reaching for literally anyone. Like I don't feel super confident about the Broncos wide receivers or even Malachi Corley. If I go Corley, it's usually like I'm gonna force a jet stack a little bit or get a bring back for Buffalo. Again, can't get avalanched when you were the Avalanche. It's true. All right, there goes Gino. Unstack Gino. Unless they go, yeah, I mean, yeah, unstack Gino. This is one of those teams that's just going to get Levis and just ruin this. Let's see what this team has only Josh Allen. That team might get a naked Levis too. Conklin. All right, Eli Mitchell. This team has Rodgers and Anthony Richardson. They're pretty set. Kyler, only Kyler. This is the team that we got to watch. The only Kyler team. Drake May. Oh boy, that was I saw the purple. That was a close one. Is Fant still there? Yeah, he is actually. I'm not pushing with Levis though. No chance. We got two more. Let's see these quarterback situations for these teams. This one has Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson. We did it. Folks, we did it. We got Will Levis. We did it. Polk and Henry team so makes sense. Yeah. No, I'm not even hating on the Drake May pick per se because he's getting the correlation. I'm just was happy that we did the right thing with waiting on Levis. Came together nicely. Now we got to get probably Russ late or JJ McCarthy late. And get Tyler. We got to get Tyler Boyd. We gotta force it with Tyler Boyd. This is when I'm okay with like pushing with Boyd because we don't have a Tennessee pass catcher, and then just kind of getting the scrap and hoping that we can get even like here's the thing. Even if our QB3 isn't stacked, it's not the end of the world, I don't think. But we could probably get a Russ, hopefully, in the last round. I mean, you guys might feel differently. You think I should go quarterback here to play it safe? Someone said, what about Chig? No, we got to the final two rounds have to be. I guess we could go Chig and just go six. You guys want to go with a 6 wide receiver build? Is Chig still there? I think Chig is gone. You got to go Boyd now, I think. And then take the quarterback, whatever one falls last. Is the Addison draft or anyone really going to take Jay? I mean, we see it all. Like we just see uncorrelated. Like logically, we should be able to wait, right? Logically, we should be able to wait. But this could even be like a Fields team and we're taking a chance. You know what I mean? We'll see though. Tyler Boyd isn't even on the top of the list here. So that's good news. And we still have some buffer at quarterback with like Bryce and Derek Carr. I think the move is probably JJ and then Russ. Got to get Boyd, though. If he goes unstacked Levis is something. Yeah, really, for real. I mean, we technically have Tajay Spears. We got the bring back of Christian Kirk. Who else does Tennessee get? Cincinnati and Indy, so we don't really have any pieces there. That's fine, though. I think Boyd, though, has to be the JJ Fields, Russ. I'm on Russ over Fields. I know it's not a popular take, though. I'm kind of high on the Titans this year. I am, too. New coach. There we go. Should be an offensive-friendly environment. So we got our 7th wide receiver. We have our 6 running backs. Now we just see what happens at quarterback. How is that team looking? Yeah, let's look at the team that started with. So you got Bijan, Saquon, Kyron Williams, Mahomes, Kincaid. The wideouts are Watson, Coleman, Judy, Jacoby Myers, QJ, Jermaine Burton, Michael Wilson. So at least they went wide receiver heavy. What are there, 8 of them? Did they only draft? They drafted 4 running backs. I mean, look, that's the way. If you're gonna do that, that's what you got to do. They did exactly what I said, where you get one. I would have probably waited even longer and gotten from like this tier. Like I would have not gotten Benson, maybe gone with like Josh Palmer, and then gotten like a Spears, who I like in that next round. Bryce Young and Bo Nix just went. My goodness. I mean, it's good that we're getting like Bo Nix falling off the board, because it was going to be a 3 quarterback build anyway for that team. And if it's Nix, it's better Nix than, McCarthy or Russ. That team is dead. Someone said, yeah, I mean, like I like to mess around like that a little bit in the puppy, but with BBM, you only have your 150 lineups, and it's got the biggest prize pool. Like I'm trying not to like test stuff as much in BBM. Yeah, the unstack. I mean, look, I'm not saying this is I would never build this team. This is a on paper an ugly team. Best Ball Bros despise that team. And okay, never mind. I forgot they got Kincaid. I was gonna say they have Burton for Burrow at least. Yeah, I mean, but like you don't want to stack Burrow with Burton. The crazy thing too is that the Burrow pick. I mean, it's not that like sometimes Burrow drops like a lot, and you're doing that when you don't even have Chase and Higgins. Like you still force the issue a little bit with Burrow whenever you don't even have Chase or Higgins. Just that's kind of rough, man. But yeah, I'd say that team is probably. I mean, I get the running back allure, but you just really fall behind a wide receiver. It's really, really tough to win with those wideouts. Keep drinking the tea bag. Tez Walker. It's nice that we're not even having to worry, but like we know exactly what position we got to do. I think we're going this order. What do you guys think? 2 rookie quarterbacks. I mean, this is definitely risky. Let's sweat it over here. Michael Penix just fell off the board, guys. I mean, it feels like when you're waiting on JJ McCarthy and Russell Wilson and Michael Penix falls off the board, it's like how you got to feel fortunate, right? Someone said, I don't think JJ is a good pick. I don't know. I mean, you got stability here enough. And I think JJ probably has a little bit more upside than, did 11 go 1 QB? Let me look. Yes. 11 went with Josh Allen only. Good call. I think I'm going JJ McCarthy. Because there's also more stackability with the playoff weeks with McCarthy. I don't believe that McCarthy won't see the field. I don't believe that at all. I mean, I could easily be wrong, but that's usually not how this goes. And both of these quarterbacks are going to be on the field. So I'm cool with going McCarthy here. Came together, folks. Even if you hated the McCarthy pick. You got Caleb, Will Levis, JJ McCarthy. I think Darnold has a Baker year. The problem is Darnold has never sniffed Baker Mayfield in terms of production and ability. At least Baker had shown it, is what I'm saying. And JJ, like you said, JJ will at least play late. I think that he will, yeah. And not only that, but I think with this build, with Russ, you're only getting the Freiermuth stack. With JJ, you're getting the Justin Jefferson, obviously, but also the bring back with Marshawn Lloyd and Luke Musgrave. And then also Minnesota gets Chicago, Seattle, and Green Bay, which are all the teams that we just drafted. So from like a playoff week build, I think this really actually came together quite well. So it's Caleb Williams, Will Levis, JJ McCarthy, we got to hope that we get like a CJ Stroud type season out of Caleb Williams. Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Swift, Tajay Spears, Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis, Antonio Gibson. It's not the best running back room in the world, but I think that I've seen worse. Especially, Gibson's our 6, right? So, oh wow, now you can see all this stuff that's going on over here. I'll just go back to my screen here. I think the team though came together overall. I forgot that screen just goes back to the other one. I think it came together though. I'm pleased with it. I'll answer a couple questions since people are asking some stuff if anyone wants to. Yeah, I think JJ fits the team nice. You guys are 100% streaming Darnold this year on LTS. Yeah, of course we are. You kidding me? Show exposures. I don't want to show exposures just yet because I'm still in the process of becoming a best ball bro. And I'll tell you what, my exposures aren't that thrilling. I think my highest exposure guy is, I'll look really quick. And I have a lot of slows going on, so my exposures aren't totally like up to date. Yeah, Charbonnet is my highest at only 21%. So I'm trying to feel things out a little bit. I talked about that with Leone on the show this week. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in as always. Next week, I will not be doing a live stream because it's the 4th of July week. I am going to be done with the draft guide. That'll be in your email inboxes by then, which is a relief for me. But I'm going on vacation with my family. So this stream won't happen next week. But the week after, I'm planning on doing multiple streams every week, not just this one every Wednesday. The Wednesday one will continue, but I want to do other ones as well. Otherwise, everyone, thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll catch you next time.